Eli Yastrib's log. We've been deployed by the Free Worlds League to engage an unknown but expected light Clan Wolf star. The hard reality is this engagement would have been necessary even without a sponsor, in order to defend our position on the ground. In return for surrendering some of the salvage to the League, we receive guaranteed pay and a foothold as a new mercenary company. All we have to do is avoid some of the most dangerous pilots and mechs in the galaxy with nothing but green pilots and borderline useless mechs of our own. A week ago this would have been a milk run. How far we have fallen. One of our few advantages is going to be speed, and that's something we're going to have to make good use of. The issue is that not all of our mechs have the same sort of movement profile, and so some of our heaviest guns and armor, brought by the Whitworth, well, they move slower than just about everything else. We do also have some support on the ground from House Merrick. It looks like Scorpion with SRMs, a Scorpion with LRMs, and one Pack Rat support vehicle, as well as the Striker Mark II. I'm not really expecting much out of these, but our first enemy contact is a vehicle itself, which means that we can expect incoming fire to be very light. Let's go ahead and reserve down the initiative as, well, there is a cat in the background coming over our radio, and who knows what you pick up in the sorts of nooks and crannies of space that we currently find ourselves in. Well, it's a welcome sound anyway, better than clan mumbo-jumbo. So our allies should be able to get some good fire support on, particularly expecting the most out of that LRM vehicle as we take a bit of fire. The bad news is I took this mission in part for 2 salvage and a lighter reward, so if there are no enemy mechs, just vehicles, our salvage options will be limited. If they're clan vehicles, we might be able to get some decent clan weaponry, and okay, there is an unknown mech. Good, we can go for some mech parts, we can go for some, well, more guaranteed weapons, but this is a clan LRM-10, that is a good place to start. See, right now our Jenner 2C has clan weaponry, as along with our, Howler, which is, I think it's a native clan mech, triple LRM-5. Not exactly a heavy loadout, not exactly heavy armor. But it's the best we've got, so we have to make do. One thing about this campaign, we are going to be in the Battletech Advanced 3062 mod, which means that evasion does not get stripped away with fire. So we have to do our best to come up with other ways of achieving that goal. One of those is going to be sensor locks off of Captain Eli Yastrib himself here in the Jenner 2C. This is our own character, and, well, one of our best pilots right now. Okay, sensor locked evasion unchanged. This pilot, for some reason, didn't lose his evasion pips. Goodness gracious. Cannot catch a break today, can't we? Alright. Tell you what, let's move up the Whitworth, let's get those LRMs online. Not a lot of expected damage here, but it is a fairly light vehicle, as those things go. Yeah, only a couple of hits. This is going to take a little while, honestly. You get to the later edges of one of these campaigns and everything starts to be easy, and you forget how difficult it is to score your first couple of hits. Alright, let's get the Cicada up there. Next turn we might be able to go in for a bit of bump and grind with some melee combat. The Streak SRM2s do worry me, along with medium pulse lasers. It's not a bad loadout for a tank that light. But honestly, vehicles have their upsides this early in the campaign. If we can get a tank chassis, we should probably field whatever tank that is, if only temporarily. It's just light mechs have such abysmal usage, and I'm going for the lower hit chance here only because we've already damaged this guy's armor about halfway through in one location, so I'm looking for the easier kill. This game is, of course, all about taking guns off the field, and so that's what our intention is going to be. Whether or not it succeeds is entirely a different matter. So, we're round 2, turn 3, and I want to let them move. Hopefully we'll get a little bit less evasion on some of those tanks, and we'll also get some fire support from our own team. Striker shooting in, that's going to be LRMs, and no hits at all. Well, hate to see that. Lightning attack hovercraft, not bad. Enemy vehicles that just have such insane movement, there's very few ways to really protect your back, which is gonna... jeez. Lost a medium laser? Frickin' cicadas, man. As soon as possible, that cicada's getting replaced. I can replace the medium laser easy enough, that's not the issue. It's just that that's about a 17,000 C-bill tax. And our returns for this are only 108,000 C-bills. May sound like a lot, it's not. So we need these vehicles to die in quickly, that way we can focus on taking out that unknown mech in the back. Whatever it was that kept that Zoria's evasion up really did us dirty, because that's +4 to the difficulty to hit. And if they open up my cicada anymore, that's going to be an issue. Let's see. Okay. Alright, here comes the Scorpion. And that should be their light. I'm thinking we might... Ooh, Jenner 2C. Okay, looks like a slightly different loadout from ours. But it still should have a pretty paper-thin rear armor set. 1525. Yeah, that's very thin. If I can chew right through it, we should be able to get ourselves a kill here. I'm not sure I can do that in one go, but the small pulses do a huge amount of damage, more than you'd expect. Let's see where my best targeting position is. It's going to be right here. Okay. Let's get up and around that mech. This is the thing. Mechs are far easier to kill than vehicles at this stage in the campaign. It's a little weird. Alright, all we have is the normal narc. We'll have to rely on the small pulses. It's a bit more scattered than I'd like. Rear attack. Not enough to bore through. Still, we did pretty decent damage. 5 remaining on the right torso and 30 remaining on the left. Not a lot of damage to the CT at all. Looks like we hit some leg there. I'm always confused by that. We'll have a nice lined up shot, and we'll end up hitting a leg. Anyway, Whitworth needs to come up and engage and draw fire. Should be able to do some of that because of reduced evasion pips compared to everything else. And let's go ahead and get those LRM-10s online. 78% chance to hit, and not a terrible firing angle. Should be some decent scattering. Let's see. No, most of it went into the other. Most of it went into the other torso of that vehicle. I mean, not torso, but side, I suppose. Let's get the Howler around. Not much damage to be expected here off the kick. Ah, it's a clan mech. Clan quirk. Kicks aren't gonna hit shit. Yeah, at least we still get to fire, but we've lost our evasive because of it, which means that Howler is gonna draw fire the next turn, unless we do something about it quickly. So what we're gonna do is get here. And this is not a clan mech, so we have 99.1% chance to land this. Let's go in for a kick with the Cicada. Come on, get me a kill. Get me a kill. Guns online. That's a kill. First kill of the entire campaign, and it's a tank. I hope that's not a sign of things to come. Let's see, we still have 2 vehicles left, and the very, very badly damaged Jenner 2C, but... my hope is we should get first priority. No, we shouldn't. We would have if they had something moving at 8, but they've moved their unit at 10. Can I get a rear shot? I can't sprint because of the unsteadiness. Otherwise we could get a very nice rear shot there, but we're not going to be able to do it. So what's my armor looking like here? 35? 35 all around? That's a decent chance to hit, but let's see if we can get a safer shot. 23, I don't like that so much. Okay. What about from here? 77? Let's get inside that range bracket. There we are. Fire into the rear of that Constance vehicle. We'll follow up with a kick as soon as we can. Shouldn't be the worst idea. Taking more fire from our supporting Merrick units. Not too bad. I do look forward to the day where we can take off the training wheels and fight the enemy one-on-one, but that is a nice kill by our supporting Scorpion LRM configuration tank. And let's see what the SRM boat can do. A fair number of contacts, looks like 3 or 4. And that's going to be the reserved. Interesting. I think that's unqualifiably stupid, but never interrupt your opponent when they make a mistake, I suppose. Let's go up here into the high ground. That gives us 1 evasion pip because of pilot skills. And load into the back of that Jenner 2C. Not enough to get the kill. Now we're in danger because if he can get around my back, he very well may kill me in a single shot. that larger laser on his General 2C ER large can do that. It's a big hop. We do draw fire, but not a lot of contact. The ER large misses. Some of that's going to be because of the green pilot they have as well, so we're not exactly fighting the best here. I guess that makes sense from a narrative perspective as well, simply because, well, we're out in the middle of nowhere, even for the clans, even for their mission of conquest into the inner sphere, so at least we're lucky in that regard. We'll have stiffer competition when we are moving into more populated planets. Decent contact with the lightning attack vehicle, and now we have a choice. We can either go up for a... let's see, this is the Cicada? Let's go for a kick. Let's get this General 2C. If we land the kick, we can sink all of his evasion in a single hit, which means this guy becomes a viable target. There it is, lost evasive. And guns online, engine crit, but still not a kill. This thing is really surprisingly tough. Huh. Alright, more guns online. The lightning attack hovercraft is taking a beating. We'll have to see if it's enough of one. Let's get a rear shot on triple LRM-5. Might have the crit seeking we're looking for. It's not a lot of concentrated damage, but at this point the General 2C's rear armor is ripped to shreds. 5 left there, 9 left on the left torso, and only 12 remaining in the center torso on the rear side. Yep, that's a kill. Not a pretty kill. We only get 2 pieces of salvage anyway, guaranteed, so the 3 salvageable parts there is reasonable progress. Campaign settings are set to fairly difficult. Lethality is cranked to the maximum, and we have 5 pieces of salvage required in order to build our own mechs. So that's going to be all wolf units eliminated. Stick around for just a second and we'll have salvage up.
Mission successful.
$99,000 C-bills, ammo cost deducted of course from our initial tally of around 108,000. Minor reputation gain with Free Worlds League, really nothing to write home about. The Mercenary Review Board has raised us to a rating of 5. How generous. Okay, our Cicada did take a penetrating hit into the rear left torso and lost a medium laser. We'll have to fix that up in the mech lab, but it shouldn't be anything too serious. Howler's armor is fairly light. That's a little bit worrisome. I'm thinking we might have to rebuild that a little bit. There's not a lot of tonnage there to play with. Okay, in terms of salvage, we could take some ER smalls. We don't have any of these, so it would be a nice increase to our damage output, particularly only for 0.5 tonnage, which is very nice. Could go well if we have the slots on the General 2C, which I don't know if that's a sure thing or not. On the other hand, medium pulses ignore evasion and give a guaranteed +2, which translates to roughly a +4 to hit against the right targets, things that are moving. So even though their damage output isn't great, they are really good at ensuring a guaranteed minimum, I suppose. Clan Pharaoh could make the Whitworth into something more useful, but we're not going to get that much free tonnage from it on a mech that small. So our choices, I think, are... oh, jeez. Sorry, cat. Our choices are the General 2C parts or the medium pulses. And I think right now, somewhat controversially, I'm going to go for the medium pulses. We need more guaranteed fire before we start building mechs to supplement our own group. And we might get some of these pieces. We do have, I think, 7 additional selections at random from here, so there's a chance. Yeah, we got one of the parts. It's not too bad. Double medium pulse, Clan LRM-5 is very nice. Clan ECM suite, that's very good. ECM works a little bit differently from the last campaign that we were doing here. It's been changed by the modding community and Bloody Doves, so I'll have to reevaluate if this is worth it, but we'll take a look at it, that's for sure. Alright, well that's going to be all we've got for this drop. Join us next time for hopefully getting this campaign off the ground.